Are you ready for pain? Are you ready for suffering? If the answer is yes, then you're ready.
POV, you walk up to a non-binary 1930s New York mobster and ask, what are your pronouns? Now Z here!
So stitch this and tell me something that white people aren't ready to hear.
You, as a white person, are inherently racist. Slow down. Think about it.
It's not lost on me how every single time I say dieting doesn't work, some random stranger will come in and say, yes they do, diets work, I've done diets before, and I've lost weight, so they work. And to that I say, thank you, random stranger, because you literally just proved my point. You see, random stranger, you said diets, as in plural, as in more than one, which means that they didn't work. Because if something works, why do you have to keep redoing them and restarting them? So if we're going to oversimplify something, yes, diets work short term, because they're not meant to be sustainable. Right? So if you are looking for something sustainable, how about we try working on a healthy relationship with food? How about we try to look inside and figure out our internalized fat phobia? How about we do small steps into actually having a sustainable lifestyle?
I wanted to talk about this because something showed up on my For You page and now I'm mad. Hi, Celtic trans person here. You can use the pronouns Fae Faya. For anyone asks, I'm Cornish specifically. I'm both genetically and culturally. And I have identified as gender fluid and have actively used neo-pronouns for the past 4 years. I also actively believe in the Fae as part of my culture and part of just my beliefs. So the apparent belief that a lot of American people seem to have is that you can't use Fae Faya pronouns because they are offensive to the Celtic community. They are not. First of all, Fae is the English word for them. In our own languages, we don't call them that. In Cernwek Cymin, we call them the Polvin, which is common Cornish for the small people. So it's literally not even a Celtic word. Second, this was never an issue with the name Fae. It's only once often neurodivergent trans people started having cool funky pronouns, all of a sudden it's offensive. Like, dude, no one cares. Cornish people certainly don't care. Scottish people don't care. Welsh people don't care. Haven't actually spoken to an Irish person about this, but I don't think they care. You're fine.
It's really funny that you think those are neopronouns and that neopronouns in any way are a bad thing, considering that all languages evolve and change. However, gi and gin are traditional Anishinaabe-Moan pronouns, meaning they're not in the English language. Just because something's not in English doesn't mean it's not real, and doesn't mean it's not valid. You must be American. And yes, Anishinaabe-Moan doesn't really have pronouns the same way English does. However, this can explain it better than I.
Dietitian, and I've got some news for you. I work with clients one-on-one daily. And here's the kicker. Regardless of body size, I have yet to come across someone that I didn't consider to be undernourishing themselves. So please stop telling people to eat less, because they probably already are. And it is not helpful to say that to someone. It's extremely harmful.
Straight dudes are constantly inventing new ways to show each other their dicks.
Okay, so I know this person is making a joke, but as someone that was socialized as a male for a long time, I feel like I need to talk about this. straight men have become accustomed to socialize with each other through sexual assault. It is so normalized that they don't even recognize it as such. This is a huge reason why grape culture is almost invisible to them, because they constantly minimize the effects that these kind of actions have. Male socialization punishes emotional sincerity and glorifies sexual aggression. And I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate, because if you're a guy, I'm sure you have friends that interact with you in this way, but this is a problem and you need to start addressing it.
My roommate has a lot more degrees and research experience on obesity. So when it comes to the question, is obesity always unhealthy? My roommate Jenna says a really important point that I definitely agree with, which is it's well documented in the literature that this excess adiposity does directly cause physiologic reactions in the body. This is still nuanced because it depends on the type of fat, where it's distributed, even some ancestral differences, which is like where people's ancestors are from. Anyway, we know that this excess adiposity or excess fat leads to inflammation. We also know that fat cells are hormonally active. More fat cells cause low adiponectin. We know that low adiponectin causes decreased response to insulin. This is bad, it causes diabetes, and it's just one example. Another thing is that fat has a blood supply, which means that if someone has a lot of excess fat, their heart has to work overtime.
I just came back from the bed and they told me, you still not that girl.
This is about toxic masculinity, and I kind of popped off in an essay I wrote. Let's see if we can fit this into a minute. Toxic masculinity is built upon the basis of misogyny, which is prejudice or disdain against women or female-bodied individuals, causing men to develop specific behaviors that impact their day-to-day well-being and transforms them into a threat against society. Persons who practice toxic masculinity are often homophobic, greedy, and demand domination. Much of the disdain that is aimed toward more feminine individuals is often because of the need to fulfill their masculine identities. For instance, many men who believe they are manly men look down upon those who are in touch with their femininity because society views gender as two opposites. Therefore, if you're feminine, you're immediately considered the opposite of a masculine individual and rejected in the minds of a misogynist. However, the social issue is not masculinity in and of itself, but the toxicity of misogynists who believe that masculinity is the rejection of femininity, creating toxic traits and actions that directly impact everyone, including said antagonists. Boom!
Hey besties, here's a happy Tuesday fit check. So the shirt is from H&M, the pants are from PacSun, and they are so long. Like at the bottom, I probably have them cuffed like 4 times. They are insane, they go past my feet. Anyways, the shoes are my Docs, and the jewelry, these two, are my local crystal store, as well as my bracelet, and this is from Urban, and I think that's it. It's pretty simple. I hope you're having a great week and you have a really good day today.
I asked you to read something for me, sir.
Of course.
Could you please read line item number 1 on that page?
I hereby declare to above all else protect and serve the welfare of each student in this district to the best of my ability. What is this?
A contract for Cape Side Superintendent of Schools. The one which states what he's hired to do. In fact, that is your signature on the bottom of that page, Dr. Fielding, is it not?
Yes. Yes, it is.
So what you're holding is a contract, which you've signed, which states that your number 1 priority should be to these students and their welfare. In fact, it doesn't say anything about the community anywhere in that contract, sir. Correct.
This interview is at an end.
Concerned father asks where his daughter's going in such a hurry.
He can, but he's not gonna like the answer.
Joey's rally.
You could come with.
I reposted something yesterday about toxic masculinity and how it has nothing to do with one's innate physiology in terms of aggression. Shortly after, someone said I need to be less feminine because it's bad to raise my child that way. Guess what, random guy on the internet? Being in touch with your emotions is not femininity. Being honest with yourself and your emotions and being kind to the world around you is not femininity. It is human. Also, being feminine is not an insult. Attaching femininity to reproductive organs is a construct. And I'm sick and tired of being picked on for being too sensitive. I'm not too sensitive. I'm just a freaking human being.
So the judge dismisses the only damn charge that may stick before the jury even has a chance to deliberate on it. I hate it here.
I'm alone. This house femme, I'm still a them. Yeah, even when I'm femme, I'm still a them. I'm a they either way, no matter what the day. Even when I'm femme, I'm still a them.
Here's how I teach people how to diet without giving them an eating disorder.
I don't. I literally